What's up? It's Hallie, and welcome to Turovero, the Celestial Tower. This is an RPG Maker game. I don't really know a whole lot about it. You go to a tower. It's a featured game on RMN. We're just gonna jump right into it. Warning, this game contains scenes of violence and other sensitive content. Is recommended for players aged 14 and up. Please view the README for more detailed content warnings. I don't know, guys. 14 and up? How will we handle this? That's a lot of text I can't read. QZ Productions presents. With artwork by Christina Moreno, Mika, Ken Kaiko, and Amy C. Jen Kaiko? No. Oh, brave heroes, you who have traveled far for righteous cause. Hear now the legend passed down by the people of this world since time immemorial. The legend of the Celestial Tower, Turovero. Long ago, our world was created, born from the wishes and dreams of four benevolent gods. From their hands sprang forth life, from their imagination, a purpose for that life. Under the guidance of the four gods, the land flourished. The people used their generous gifts to cultivate the land, to raise many kingdoms, and to live among one another in peace and harmony. However, this era of prosperity was not to last. From the depths of darkness rose an aberration, the Dark One, a being which embodied the antithesis of all that the four gods had wished for. Pain, loneliness, hatred, fear, despair. In its malice and depravity, it clawed its way to the top of Turovero, a tower which rose endlessly to the gates of heaven. Before usurping the throne of the gods at its summit and casting them away. Under the influence of the Dark One, the people now knew true despair, land grew barren, the kingdoms waged war, and society began its slow descent into destruction. To this day, no one knows for certain what happened to the four gods who gave life to our world. Yet not all hope is lost. Even now, the Celestial Tower still stands, waiting for its chosen warriors to free it from the Dark One's grasp. You who now stand before the gates of destiny, before the eyes of heaven and the heart of darkness itself. What will you risk to make the light of truth shine brightly once again? Our lives, presumably. Alright. That text was just fast enough for me to keep up. Or maybe just slow enough for me to keep up. Yeah, we're here at the Turovero. Whew! Looks like we finally made it, guys! The Celestial Tower, Turovero. They say they have ever made it to the gates alive, and even fewer have returned. They say few have ever made it. So this is Sigurd, apparently. The fact that we even made it this far is nothing short of a miracle.
Indeed, I was beginning to think we would never reach this place.
Lelia, the druid healer.
The journey was long and hard, but it's thanks to the mercy of the four gods that we were able to get here. We'll need to remember to give thanks when we can. Then, hopefully, they will continue to grant us their protection inside of the tower.
I concur. We need all of the divine providence we can get after that little excursion. Edric, the prodigy mage. We've used up half of our food and nearly 3/4 of our medical supplies, and that's not even mentioning all of the gear we had stolen along the way. Venturing inside of a tower without even knowing what lies within is foolish enough, but to do so as ill-equipped as we are would be akin to suicide.
So what are you saying? That we should just give up and go home?
Says Ruby, the reformed thief.
As if. We worked way too hard to get here, and you know what's at stake. Not to mention, if we go back now, without defeating the Dark One, we'll be a laughingstock. I'd never be able to look a cute girl in the face again.
Oh, you're a guy. Your semi-long hair fooled me. I feel like your priorities are somewhat askew, Ruby. Regardless, I never said that we should give up. Only that we'd be in a precarious situation should we continue. We'll have to be cautious if we're going to accomplish our mission and leave this tower alive. Will you two quit bickering for 1 second? You're both right. There's no way we can turn back now. The fate of our world is in our hands. If there's any hope at all of bringing an end to the Dark One's curse, we have to take it. But if we're not careful, none of us will live long enough to see that happen.
Yes, we all must work together and protect each other if we want to reach the top of Turovero. But I believe with all of my heart that we can. After all, have we not been doing as much since we lost our memories?
So what wish should I give you again? Should I go with Furion? Yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, you're right, Lily. As long as we stick together, nothing can beat us. Not even the Dark One.
Alright, that's the spirit. Now all we have to do is find a way inside. Any ideas, Edric?
Honestly, Sigurd, would you think for yourself for once in your life?
You don't need to be so rude, Edric.
Right. My apologies, Lelia. Anyway, the legends surrounding Turovero state that only those deemed worthy will be granted entrance. The seal of the four gods shall judge the brave. The simplest interpretation would be that the tower has some sort of entrance mechanism only its chosen ones can use. Perhaps something marked by the aforementioned seal of the four gods.
Ooh, you mean like that thing over there? There aren't any levers or switches or anything, but that sure looks like a magic seal to me.
Well, would you look at that? Good eye, Ruby.
The seal of the four gods. Yes, I do remember reading about this sigil on our travels. But if this is the mechanism Edric was talking about, then how do we activate it?
Step on it?
Yes, how indeed. Perhaps it requires some sort of spell or incantation to activate, or...
Wow, what the? Whoa, it's glowing now.
What? Ruby, what did you do to it just now?
Don't look at me like that. I just touched it, that's all.
Really? That's it? Hold on, I've got an idea.
That sound again.
The seal of the four gods shall judge the brave, was it? In that case, it's probably waiting for all of us to touch it. But we won't know for sure until we try. Come on, guys.
For once, an idea from Sigurd that isn't completely terrible. I'm impressed.
Will you just get over here, Edric? God's almighty.
All right, I'm coming.
Oh. The gasp.
It opened. It actually opened! We did it, guys! Praise the gods. Surely this must be a sign.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The tower may have deemed us worthy to enter, but that alone won't guarantee our success.
That's right. We still have to show it our worth. I know we've been through a lot together. We've fought countless battles and overcome all kinds of hardships, but this tower, Turovero, it may prove to be our most dangerous journey yet. No matter what happens, we can't let ourselves be defeated by the Dark One. For ages, it has held our world hostage, and now may be our only chance to set it free. I know we can do this. It's just like Lelia said. As long as we keep protecting each other, we won't fail. Between the four of us, we can do anything. After all, we're heroes of justice, aren't we? If it's to protect our world, we'll never lose.
Yeah, it's just like you to send us off with a cliched speech. But I won't say it isn't encouraging, if only slightly. Let's go, everyone.
Yes, let's. We cannot allow the Dark One to tarnish our world any longer.
Wow, just listening to you guys is pumping me up. I can't wait to sink one of my arrows into the Dark One's stupid face. We'll make it pay for everything it's done.
Right. Let's not waste any more time. Let's climb to the top of this tower and towards the salvation of our world. Turovero, the Celestial Tower! We'll do our best. First floor, the ancient keep. For the record, I have no idea how long this game is.
Jeez, it sure is dusty in here. I guess no one's been inside to clean up in a while, huh? Of course not. We're likely the first people to have set foot in this tower in eons.
Which means we have no idea what kind of dangers await us. I can already sense the presence of monsters in this place.
Monsters, huh? Well, what did you expect? It's a dungeon. What's a couple of monsters against us? It's not like we haven't fought off our share of enemies in the past. Just don't let your guard down and we'll be...
Huh? Siggy, you idiot! You just had to jinx us, didn't you?
What?
Hey! How was that my fault?
So there really is no way out after all. No, we have to stay resolute. We knew full well there was no turning back once we got here.
She's right. We don't have time for regrets. We have work to do. Ugh, yeah, I know. Let's just hurry up and get going, okay? I can already feel the limestone building up in my lungs.
Yeah, be careful, everyone. So the adventure begins. Where's my pause button? This one. Okay. So we're all level 1. We've been on so many adventures, but we're level 1. Let's see what we've got. We've got some medicinal herbs. Yeah. A slightly sweet tasting concoction of healing herbs. Restores 400 HP. Oh, we're going to be a big numbers game, are we? Let's see. Monotonic. A tonic that helps to accelerate the body's mana restoration. Restores 70 MP. Antidote. Medicine that cleanses the body of poison. Water from a legendary healing spring from which the 4 gods once drank. Brings back an ally from the brink of death. Alright, we've only got one of these. Gotta be careful of that. Monster repellent. A foul-smelling mist that keeps monsters and other evil beings at bay. Temporarily halts random encounters. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Alright. Memory journal. Oop, wrong button. A communal journal kept by the party to chronicle their adventures, used to read character bios and story summaries. Oh, we can start off with reading! Memory journal, ooh, journal log, biographies, a bestiary. We'll start with the journal log, I suppose. Here we are, Celestial Tower. Oh goodness, it's a little hard to read yellow text on yellow parchment. It's kind of hard to tell who's writing what. Well, it was a rough journey to get here, but it looks like we finally made it to Turovero. They say that this tower used to be the home of the gods before they were overthrown by the Dark One. To hit this day, it's still overrun by the forces of evil, and it is that very evil that we, the heroes of justice, have vowed to defeat. You're still calling us that? Says someone. I'm guessing that's probably Edric.
In truth, the task does seem rather daunting. Many have tried to face the Dark One themselves, never to return. In fact, it was highly doubtful they ever made it inside of the tower in the first place, as the gates have been sealed for some time.
That is until yours truly found the device to open the gates, and I even found out how to get it to work. You're welcome, by the way. You boast about it like it wasn't a complete accident. Seriously, can't you go 1 minute without being a complete killjoy, Eddie?
Yeah, I was right, it was Eddie.
However, even though we've found a way inside, that doesn't guarantee our mission will be successful. We still have little, if any, knowledge of what Turovero has in store for us. Statistically speaking, this is a suicide mission, and yet here I am, parading around with a lot of you all the same.
That's because we're the only ones who can do this. You've felt it just as much as the rest of us. The feeling that this place has been calling out to us.
Fair enough, I won't deny that.
Yes, perhaps it was the voice of the gods, or simply the voice of our destinies. But I believe that this journey was the reason we were all brought together. I truly feel that it is now our duty to liberate this world from the Dark One's grasp.
Yeah, and let's not forget the perks of saving the world, too. Fame, glory, riches, the beautiful... Get your mind out of the gutter, you lech. I'm kidding. Lighten up, will ya?
Okay. Let's look at some biographies. See, if we looked at this first, we'd have known. Oh, you can't actually go back and forth. It's only up and down, even though it's laid out this way. So, Sigurd. Not really sure how I'm supposed to write about myself when I barely know anything about myself. So sorry if this seems awkward.
AKA Siggy!
I suppose I should start with that, or what I do know, that I used to be a knight, though I can't remember which kingdom I served. After I lost my memory, I wandered around as a sellsword until I met the others, and we've been inseparable ever since.
Sigurd truly is the definition of a knight. He's kind, brave, and has a passion for protecting others.
Too much so, if you ask me.
In fact, it was his idea to band together in the first place as heroes of justice. In his words, to fight on behalf of the weak and powerless during these dark times. I don't think it would be an exaggeration to say that we all look up to him.
He's an air-headed idealist and has a bad habit of helping out when he isn't needed. Although I suppose his intentions are good enough, and even I have to admit to giving him my life on more than one occasion.
Giving? It's really hard to read this text. Owing is what that says.
There's probably no one else so ludicrously suicidally heroic that I would place my trust in.
Gee, thanks, Edric.
Not to mention he plays dulcimer. Seriously, he brings that thing everywhere. Maybe when we beat the Dark One, he ought to become a bard. The ladies would love him.
I'll take that as a compliment, but I'm perfectly happy as a swordsman, thanks. Alright, Lelia.
I suppose it's my turn to write then.
AKA Lily.
Well, I'll try. The only things I can clearly recall from my past are my name and vague visions of my home in the forest. I've always felt a special connection with nature since losing my memory, but it was only after meeting the others that I learned of its connection with my healing powers. I likely chose the path of a druid healer so that I could help the people of this world, and I fully intend to use my abilities to protect my dear friends.
I think we would all be in sore shape if it weren't for Lelia. She's as invaluable a friend as she is a healer. You could even call her a mother figure of sorts. I can't tell you how many times her delicious tea and smiling face have taken the edge off of our long, stressful journeys.
Lelia is one of the warmest, most genuine individuals I've ever met. She's truly a beacon of light in a world that's so often marred by darkness. She's always there to support the rest of us when the odds seem overwhelming. I'll always be grateful for her kindness. Well, looks like somebody's got a soft spot. I have no idea what you're talking about. Lily is amazing. She can make anyone feel better when they're down, and she can even get Edric to stop being a jerk for like 2 seconds. I don't know what we'd do without her. Probably die or something.
Oh, please don't joke about that sort of thing, Ruby.
Edric, aka Eddie. Stop calling me that. It seems redundant to write about ourselves in our own journal, but given that we've lost our memories before, perhaps it wouldn't hurt to do so, just in case. Contextual evidence seems to suggest that I was studying sorcery prior to my memory loss, although I'm still not sure which institution I attended. After hundreds of hours of research leading me no closer to my identity, I eventually found myself roped in with the ragtag team of do-gooders I, usually, call my friends. Only usually? Do you try to make yourself sound like a jerk?
Oh boy, where do I begin? Edric's our resident smartass, but we tend to tolerate the ass part thanks to the smart part. There's no denying his intelligence, and his quick thinking and powerful magic has gotten us out of more dangerous situations than I can count. Not to mention that when push comes to shove, he's not a bad guy, just annoying at times.
The feeling is mutual, Sigurd.
That's right. Edric is, well, he does seem rather surly on the outside, but I've always believed he was simply uncomfortable showing his feelings to others. He's actually quite kind to his friends, lighting the way in dark places, starting fires for the kettle, holding open the door when we go into towns. I think it's his way of showing how much he cares about us.
I think he only does that with you, Lily. Anyway, I still think that he's a jerk, but at least he's a jerk with a good heart. I trust him more than anyone else to tell it like it is, not to mention he's super fun to tease. And yet you call me the jerk.
Ruby,
a.k.a. Ruby the Magnificent. I see you're just as humble as you are level-headed. Finally, it's my time to shine. I might not know all that much about myself, but I do know I was probably your average run-of-the-mill thief before my memories went poof. But I'm way more than just a law-breaking ne'er-do-well. Since joining up with these guys, I made myself something of an anti-thief, stealing stuff back from the bad guys who steal from innocent people. I'm just that nice of a gal, you know?
She is a girl. Oh, I had it backwards. Welp. Alright, back to the other voice, I suppose. I've got to admit, I was a little wary letting somebody like Ruby join us at first, but now I can't imagine our lives without her. Sure, she's got some sticky fingers, but she only ever uses them to help out. And she's got a crazy sense of humor, too. There's never a dull day with her around.
Aw, Ziggy, you're making me blush. I can't think of a more energizing person to be around than Ruby. She's always so passionate about everything she does, although I do find myself healing her a bit more often than the others. Please try to be a little less reckless in battle, all right?
Yes, please, before you get us all killed. Ruby is basically the epitome of every negative stereotype about thieves one can think of. She's brash, crude, a self-proclaimed womanizer, and her temper is sort of a wood gnome lying down in a ditch.
You're one to talk, buddy.
I suppose she does have some good qualities, however. She can be quite the source of entertainment when she makes a fool out of herself, and I have to admit she's a very talented cook. I have always maintained that we ought to keep her around for that reason alone. We just need to keep her as far away from our taverns as humanly possible.
Boo, you're no fun at all.
Alright, misgendering characters. Let's look at the best here. There's nothing to look at here. You can't loop up to the bottom from the top. Do I really have to tap down all the way through? Oh my goodness, I do. That's kind of irritating. Alright, well. We've got our ragtag group, so let's get going!